Hi, this is David, ECBA 406, the final video in the class. So it's Lesson 6 review, Lesson 7 preview. So let's get started. Lesson 6 talked about risk management. It talked about control and creativity. Can they be compatible in organizations? And my premise is not only can they have to be. They have to be compatible in organizations, or you're going to have an organization. One, if they're creative and not control focused, then they're going to have no discipline. They're probably not going to be in business very long because they can't manage their money. They don't have people managing process. They can't manage the day-to-day parts of the business. So they have to be control focused, but they also have to be creative. If they're not creative, then chances are they're not going to be focused on innovation. They may be in business in the short term, but over the long haul, they don't adapt, and so they may be challenged. So what do you do with all this? I used to tell people that it's a real challenge sometimes. I tell people to make sure when you're hiring people that you just don't hire all the same people. You don't hire people who are all like you. I mean, I happen to be much more focused on control than I am creativity. So when I was in an organization, I had to make sure that I hired dreamers, okay? I had to hire those people who would be out there and go, hey, David, what if we did this? I mean, really, they got on my nerves. They got on my nerves a lot, but I knew their value. Their value was the one that would push me to think about the things that I'd go, if we don't do something new in that area, we're going to get our head handed to us in those areas. So as you go forward in organizations, remember this. Have a place for dreamers. Have a place for those people around who get on your nerves, but they're the ones that are going to challenge you to go into new areas as you go forward. So creativity and control have to be compatible in my viewpoint. And that was discussion 1. The assignment 1 talked about 3 different control systems. And what I wanted you to do there was to not only define those control systems and what their basis was, but to give some examples of how those things could be used. And so as you look at control systems, don't fight those in organizations. Many times I think that the people and employees in particular will look at those and they'll think that it's just busy work that the leaders are placing on them. It's not busy work sometimes. I mean, I don't know your bosses or your situations, but we had to put control systems in place because we had to manage risk. At ConAgra, I managed a $2 billion sales organization, and if I didn't have control systems in place on that, I mean, some bad thing could happen, and it could impact the entire corporation of ConAgra. And so control systems were those that were there. Behavior, output, input controls were totally necessary to be able to manage that risk going forward. Okay, so that was Lesson 6. Lesson 7, the final lesson in this course, and for some of you, maybe the final lesson in your entire degree program. So what I want to say, first of all, is congratulations. Many of you I had in the marketing class right as you were getting started in the degree program, and so I'm just thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled that you're at this point in your career. Hopefully you're going to be walking in May. I wished I was going to be able to be there to meet some of you. But what a great accomplishment. I have a great deal of respect for adult students who are probably working full-time, who are probably married or have a significant other, and many of you have children. And so you put all those components together, and then you add on top of that taking classes online at CSU with the likes of me, and your life is complex. And so you're at this stage, and I just want to say congratulations on this accomplishment. I also want to make sure, before I hang up here and when we talk about Lesson 7, that I make this offer to you. I make this to all the students who've ever had a class with me. If I can ever be of any assistance to you after you graduate, please contact me. You have my phone number on the syllabus. You have my email address. One of my favorite things that I do is not necessarily just the teaching component, but it's the relationships that I make with students after they graduate. I've helped 2 or 3 students start companies giving them some advice on career perspective, help write reco letters for jobs or for continuing education, for master's degrees. And so please use me in any way that you feel that I can be helpful. If you just want someone to chat with about, hey, is this a good idea? Is this something? I'll give you my opinion, and I'll share that with you. So please take me up on that. I always enjoy chatting with students after they've exited the degree program as well. Okay? So lesson 7, final lesson. The discussion question, this is going to be really easy this week, by the way. The discussion question deals with nonprofits and strategy. Do nonprofits need to have a business plan? Do they need to have corporate strategy? Do they need to develop business policy and so on? Quick answer, yes. Yes, they do. They probably need it more than anybody else, and the reason they do is because sometimes their passion trumps their ability to manage their business. Most people that I know and that I've helped start nonprofits for are incredibly passionate about what they're doing, but perhaps their passion sometimes gets the best of them. And so you think about last week in control systems. Nonprofits need control systems. If not, you're going to wake up one day and you're going to realize that that your infrastructure of your nonprofit has overtaken your ability to fund it, and so that can be a big challenge. And so I'm interested in talking to you in the discussion board, looking at your feedback, your responses in that area as well. And then finally, the assignment this week is all about you. All right? And so this is going to be pretty easy. What I want you to do is just reflect over the degree program, talk about some of the classes perhaps that's made an impact, maybe some of the students that you've met along the way, maybe some of the faculty that you've dealt with, some of the challenges that you faced. And I just want to talk about that, because one of the things that I like to do is I have students very early on in the program, and then I have them as they're walking out of the program. We like to adapt and adjust this program based upon the needs of the students. And so this is your opportunity to communicate with me. I take some of the things that I see from students in this class, share them with the dean and with the other faculty members, and just say, okay, this has been meaningful to the majority of the students. This has not been meaningful. Here are some things that perhaps they're recommending that we do, basis their comments. Again, this isn't a laundry list of, hey, I hate e-college or all this other stuff. What it really is taking a look at the things that have made a difference, or perhaps giving some recommendations going forward on how we can grow together as we continue to build this program. All right? Well, again, congratulations to those of you graduating, to those of you who are close, hang in there. If I can ever be of any assistance, as I mentioned earlier, please make sure that you contact me. All right? Have a great week. I'm accessible this week. I'm still on the ship somewhere. Let's see, I'm actually going to be, this is the week I'll be in Russia. And so, but again, I'm totally accessible. So have a great week. And I'm starting to say I'll chat with you soon, but I won't. But I hope I do if you need me to chat anywhere down the road. All right? Take care.